As we know, PostgreSQL is multi-version concurrency control database. In short, we call MVCC. The MV in MVCC stands for multi-version. This means that multiple versions of the same data will be kept anytime the data changes. Oracle does this by rolling old data into an undo log, as we know, but PostgreSQL doesn't use an undo log. Instead, it keeps the multiple versions of the data in the base tables itself. This means that there is much less overhead when making updates, and you must occasionally remove the old versions. This is the one of the things vacuum does. The way PostgreSQL manages these multiple versions is by storing some extra information with every row. This information is used to determine what transactions should be able to see the row. If the row is an old version, there is information that tells PostgreSQL where to find the new version of the row. This information is needed to be able to log the rows during an update. Consider this scenario: a row is inserted into a table that has a couple of indexes and the transaction commits. Several updates happens on that row. Each update will create a new row in all indexes even if the index key didn't change. And each update will also leave an old version of the row in the base table and one that has been updated to point to that location of the new version of the row that replaces it. All of the old data will stick around until a vacuum is run on that table. In a busy system, it doesn't take very long for all the old data to translate into a lot of wasted space. And it's very difficult to reclaim that space if it grows to an unacceptable level. What this means to those who want to keep their PostgreSQL database performing well is that proper vacuuming is critical. This is especially true on any tables that see a heavy update load, such as a table used to implement some kind of a queue. Such tables should generally be vacuumed frequently if they are small, more frequently than auto vacuum normally would provide. For moderate loads, auto vacuum will often do a good job of keeping dead space to a minimum. We can and should tune the auto vacuum to maintain such busy tables properly, rather than manually vacuuming them. Vacuum reclaims storage occupied by dead tuples. In normal PostgreSQL operation, tuples that are deleted or obsoleted by an update are not physically removed from their table, as we discussed. They remain present until a vacuum is done. Therefore, it's necessary to do a vacuum periodically, especially on frequently updated fuse volume tables. Without any parameter, vacuum processes every table in the current database that the current user has permissions to vacuum. With a parameter, vacuum processes only that table. And we can keep analyze along with vacuum with the command vacuum space analyze, and that performs a vacuum and then an analyze for each selected table. We will discuss what is analyze in the next slide. Plain vacuum simply reclaims space and makes it available for reuse for that particular table. This form of the command can operate in parallel with normal reading and writing of the table, as an exclusive lock is not obtained. However, extra space is not returned to the operating systems. It's just kept available for reuse within the same table. Vacuum full rewrites the entire contents of the table into a new disk file with no extra space, allowing unused space to be returned to the operating system. This form is much slower and requires an exclusive lock on each table while it is being processed. As mentioned here, there are many parameters that we can give as part of the vacuum command, such as full, verbose, and analyze. Vacuum full is a different set of command and it runs differently, as I mentioned before. And even vacuum and vacuum full that can be run by only by owner or super user. Okay, so if you have access to that table, that means if you create that table and you are allowed to do that vacuum, or if you are a DBA for that particular PostgreSQL database, yes, you can do the vacuum or vacuum full. And one more, vacuum auto vacuum daemon is provided by PostgreSQL itself. So you can schedule the auto vacuum, or based on the few parameters, the that depends on the bloat of the table. Actually, what is the bloat here? So how much dead rows that particular table has. So generally that shows in percentage. If we check in the configuration tables, nothing but system tables, we can decide based on the bloat percentage and whether we have to perform vacuum or vacuum full. Based on that we can take the call. And this is the one example given here in the screenshot. If you see, we have applied vacuum with the verbose and analyze both. If you can see here, so now we are vacuuming the public.1k table, and first it is showing the info because we selected verbose, so it will give all minimum details into the log. Okay, so if you see here info, and the second info is, it is saying that particular index, unique one index, has 1000 tuples in 14 disk pages. Okay, and what it is saying is detailed 3000 index tuples were removed. Those were dead tuples. Okay, and it is talking about the pages that have been deleted. And of course in this particular vacuum there are no index pages have been deleted, that's why it is showing the 0. And the CPU memory and how much time it is elapsed as till this time, so everything will be displayed in the log itself. So this is a very short version of the log that has been shown as part of this vacuum verbose analyze. But you can see many log entries in this once you run the command in your database. So what is analyze? When you apply vacuum analyze a table, it will update the table statistics for that particular table in the configuration tables, nothing but in the system tables. So when you run the analyze on the table, that stores the statistical data in pg underscore statistic table that contains all the statistics related to that particular database, and entries are created by analyze and subsequently used by the query planner. Note that all the statistical data is inherently approximate, even assuming that is up to date. With no parameter, analyze examines every table in the current database. With a parameter, analyze examines only that table. It is further possible to give a list of column names, in which case only the statistics for those columns are collected. In the default PostgreSQL configuration, auto vacuum daemon takes care of the automatic analyzing of the tables when they are first loaded with the data and as they change throughout the regular operations. When auto vacuum is disabled, it is good idea to run analyze periodically or just after making major changes in the contents of a table. Accurate statistics will help the planner to choose the most appropriate query plan and thereby improve the speed of query processing. A common strategy is to run vacuum and analyze once a day during your low usage time of the day. Analyze requires only a read lock on the target table, so it can run in parallel with other activity on the table. That statistics collected by analyze usually includes a list of some of the most common values in each column and a histogram showing the approximate data distribution in each column. One or both these can be omitted if analyze deems them uninteresting or if the column data type does not support the appropriate operator. For large tables, analyze takes a random sample of the table contents rather than examining every row. This allows even a very large tables to be analyzed in a small amount of time. Note, however, the statistics are only approximate and will change slightly each time analyze is run, even if the actual table contents didn't change. This might result in small changes in the planner's estimated cost shown by the explain. In very rare situations, this non-determinism will cause the planner choice of the query plans to change after analyze is run. To avoid this, raise the amount of the statistics collected by the analyze. Okay, it depends on the use case every time. I will explain this analyze concept using the simple concept. So there is one table with a select start from public actor table. Let me query this table. You see here we have around 202 records in total. Okay, and let me take the count also now. The count of the records is table is like total count of the records is 202. And let me have a look at the same details in the PG class statistics table also. So PG class is the PG statistics table, and this is my actor table. So REL name is shortcut for relation name, nothing but table name. And if you go further here, you can see it is rel tuples, nothing but the relation tuples. So as you see, this is the count of the records in that particular table. So what if I insert few records into the tables? Let's see. I'm going to insert few records in this table, maybe one or two. I inserted one record now, and let me insert one more dummy record. Okay, now check the count of the records in this table. So now it is 204, but see what happens if you go and check in the configuration, system table, actor table, and so we still have 202 only. The updated record count is not yet updated into this system tables. The same is applicable for when you delete records from the table. So in order to have the latest statistics in the configuration table, we have to run analyze command as we discussed. Analyze and give the table name. If you don't give the table name as we discussed, it will apply the analyze for all the tables in this database, if at all if you have access to those tables. Now let me run this command. See, this analyze is completed, and now check the system table. So this is my actor table. See, the count is updated to 204. The latest count is updated in the configuration tables, nothing but system tables. That means now the planner, system planner, query planner will fetch the best record count from this table, and it can generate the best query plan according to the statistics that are available in the system tables. That's about system statistics example using the analyze command. Now we'll move on to the next one. So anyway, we have seen the differences in detail between vacuum and vacuum full there, and anyway I captured again to give you the overview between these two, and when should we use vacuum and when should we go with vacuum full. Those details I captured here. If you see the first one, the vacuum touches only dead tuples. It removes only dead tuples, but it won't touch other tuples. But when it comes to the full, it touches all the tuples. Nothing but it will move all the table data from one location to another location, and it keeps only non-dead rows, all active rows, but it doesn't consider the dead rows from the previous location. That means it has to move the entire table from one location to another location. So this is almost related to the last point. So this is why it needs double space to move the table from one location to another location. That means it has to copy the table, right, from one location to another location. Let's say like if the table has 10 GB worth of data, and ideally what it will do, it will copy the all 10 GB data to another 10 GB. Total comes to 20 GB. That's why it needs double space. And for this, extra space is not needed because it is just simply removing the dead rows. And the second difference is like there is no need of locking, but here as it is moving the main table, like a table from one location to another location, obviously it cannot allow the all DML operations on that table. That is why it is taking exclusive lock. And the third point is the memory is released to the table itself, but not to the OS. But vacuum full, what it will do is it will release the memory of the previous table memory to the entire OS, so that that memory can be reused by other tables itself. And vacuum won't rebuild the indexes, but vacuum full, it does rebuild the indexes, because it creates the table newly and indexes and everything. It starts from the scratch, right? So obviously it builds the best optimized indexes. So these are the differences, main core differences between vacuum and vacuum full. Main point is like when to use vacuum full and when not to. Many people, either based on the misguided advice on the net or on the assumption that it must be better, periodically run vacuum full on their tables. This is generally not recommended, and in some cases can make your database slower, not faster. Vacuum full is only needed when you have a table that is mostly dead rows, that is, the vast majority of its contents have been deleted. It should not be used for the table optimization or periodic maintenance, as it's generally counterproductive. In most cases, the freed space will be promptly reallocated, possibly increasing the file system level fragmentation and requiring file system space allocation that are slower than just reusing existing free space within the table. When you run vacuum full on a table, the table is locked for the duration of the operation, so nothing else can work on the table. Vacuum full is much slower than a normal vacuum, so the table may be unavailable for a while. This is about vacuum, vacuum full, and analyze in PostgreSQL. Thank you.